Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing with you a simple and easy recipe for one of my favorite carb foods. Well, let me rephrase it. Gluten-free, low carb, non-dairy, no sugar added foods. And this food is a breakfast food, which you all know is pancakes. Now this particular variation is going to be apple cinnamon power protein pancakes. They're low carb, gluten free, no sugar added, and dairy free as well. So come on and let's get into it. So for today's recipe, we're going to be using our usual almond flour that is, you guessed it, sifted. Here we go. We're also going to be using 2 tablespoons of ground flax meal. And I like to use flax seeds, well, ground ones, because it adds fiber to the whole recipe. So if you happen to be following a low carb diet, adding a little fiber helps to offset carb count to leave you with the net carbs. So we're going to also add in a half a teaspoon of baking powder. And as you see, I'm putting that through the sifter as well. A half a teaspoon of baking powder into the sifter as well. 2.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. Since we're in the fall season, we like to get these, we like to have that cinnamon flavor with the apple really over the top. We sift that as well. Again, the reason we sift our flour and all the other dry ingredients, I've realized over time, it just helps it to be smooth and unclumpy. We don't need any clumps in our recipe. While we're talking, I have my hot griddle with coconut oil melted on there, so that when we go to cook our pancakes, it's pretty seamless. So that's that for the, oh, and also don't let me forget, we're gonna add in 2 tablespoons of coconut flour. Oh, and yes, you guessed it, don't forget to sift that. That gives it a little bit of hardiness. 1/8 of a teaspoon of xanthan gum. So we have all our dry ingredients. You're going to want to, ooh, I caught myself. We want to also add in, I have some really good sugar substitute. This is a granulated I got it over at Whole Foods, and I'll, any of the ingredients that I speak about, I'll leave in the description. If you're interested, you can click on the link and I'll get a small commission. I'm going to put in 3 tablespoons of this whole earth plant-based sugar alternative, which is with erythritol and monk fruit, which is pretty good. We're going to stir all our dry ingredients, give it a good mixing. 2 large eggs. I have a friend here again, her name is Maya, and she's the biggest fan I have today. We're going to use a teaspoon of vanilla extract. We're going to whisk those 2 ingredients together. We're going to also use 3 tablespoons of almond milk and give that a good mixing. And this ingredient I use to help the pancakes get a little fluffy, and this is apple cider vinegar, and we need 1 teaspoon of that. Put it right into the wet ingredients. And I'm also going to give 1 dropper full of liquid stevia. So now we're going to take our wet ingredients and put it into our dry ingredients and give it a good mix. Now this is my own recipe, and through many times of trial and error, I feel like this is the best I've gotten so far. This is the best recipe. They come out really great. And then after you mix the wet with the dry, you're going to want to add in 2/3 of a cup of unsweetened applesauce, right? This one's looking for a free lunch again. Maya can't handle it. When I'm in the kitchen, she's sitting here thinking it's her time to eat, which, sorry, darling, it's not your time yet. I'm working. Can't you see I'm working over here or what? So we give that a good mix. I got my eye on my griddle. It's on low. With this, I'm going to need to put in a little bit of almond milk, like literally a tablespoon, because the batter is a little too thick and we want to get it a little bit looser. So I added some almond milk, and that's what you would do if you felt like it's too thick. Add a little bit of liquid. What makes these power pancake is that we're adding collagen powder, and it's okay. I got 1 healthy scoop. That's about 3 tablespoons, and I added it in, and it's pretty sifted. It's very fine, so it's not going to clump up on us, but I almost forgot to add that in. And that really makes a difference in the nutrient count, because we're getting probably 10 additional grams of protein per serving. And I give hearty servings. I'm not into a half of a muffin or a half of a cookie. I like to have a real serving, which is just enough that will satisfy you for your meal. And if you add something else to it, like protein. We have our coconut oil. I'm just going to spread that around. That's about 2 tablespoons. After that, what we're going to do is we are going to get our handy ladle. Now, this is how you want the batter to be, a little bit on the loose side. And now that we've got it all together, we're going to take a healthy scoopful, spread it on the griddle, and just know that this takes a while before you can actually flip the pancakes, because they really are very hardy and they have a lot of density. So when you go to flip them, be mindful. And that's why it's a good idea to preheat the griddle, so that you want to be able to flip these pancakes whole. And I can't tell you how many times I flipped the pancakes where they weren't intact and I had a bit of a disaster on my hands. But we'll see you back in a couple minutes. Okay, you guys, we're back, and I still have the pancakes on the griddle, and I have not yet flipped them. It's been about 6 minutes or so, maybe 5. And you want to make sure they're pretty thoroughly cooked before you flip them, as I said earlier. If not, you'll have a disaster to contend with. Maya's here patiently waiting, smelling all the smells with the apple cinnamon pancakes going. And she's crying because she thinks it's time to eat, because I'm over here and she thinks I forgot her. But nobody forgot you, sweetheart. Just wait, hold your horses. Come here, Maya. Well, I'll give you a photo opportunity in a minute. I got to deal with these pancakes first, kid. Okay, so the edges seem to be intact, and that's what you want to look for. The edges need to be intact, so when you go to move them, they don't fall apart. Oh, okay, so it's really going to be one of those things where trial and error. I still need a little time because it's not quite movable yet. Let me try. No, we need a little bit more time. The burner isn't as wide as the griddle, so you're not going to have even cooking unless you have a griddle, electric griddle, which probably would be your best bet with this. Because there's so much moisture in the batter between the eggs and the applesauce, it's going to make it really tricky, so you just have to sort of be patient. And when your family smells the apple cinnamon in the house, they're going to be going wild and crazy. Woo, I got it. Now, don't be nervous about the color of the pancakes. They will be on the darker side, and I encourage you to just be patient with the process. Because the cinnamon is dark, it makes it look makes it look like it's almost a burnt color, but it's not. All right. Woo! Got that one flipped. Uh-oh. That was a bad one. But that's okay. This is so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, that one worked out a lot better. Hey, 3 for 4 isn't bad, okay? In the grand scheme of a baseball day, that's 750. That's not bad. And imagine in baseball you can hit 333 and that'd be pretty decent. Okay, so we're gonna flip those. We flip those guys over. We're gonna wait a little while. Maya's being a good girl because she wants some pancakes. We're gonna give you some pancakes. Hey, do you want to see the little girl? Stay there, girl. There she is. She's waiting patiently for her pancakes. She's gonna get Maya later pancakes. What a good girl she is, that baby. I love you, Mayation. Maya. Anyway, so, okay, my timer went off. So we're going to give it a little bit more heat, about another minute or two, because once the griddle is hot, it's smooth sailing, but the pancakes themselves are pretty soft. So be patient with the process and know that your pancakes are going to turn out perfectly fine. And what I've learned about doing this recipe, as I said, I love pancakes, so when I was able to figure out a way to do pancakes that were low carb, gluten-free, dairy-free, and no sugar added, I was thrilled about it. I was really thrilled, good girl, I was really thrilled about kind of research and developing pancakes that were okay to have on a low carb, gluten-free, dairy-free, no sugar added diet. In the next video, I'm gonna show you how to make a really good job, girl, a really good recipe for keto maple syrup. Hey you guys, we're back to try our apple cinnamon power protein pancakes that are low carb, gluten free, dairy free, and no sugar added. Let's give this a whirl. How does it look? And of course Maya's here. Well, I think you're gonna just have to try it because it's really excellent as usual. And who doesn't like pancakes? Thank you for stopping by. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share the video with your friends and family, and be healthy out there and safe. Over and out, ciao for now, and I'll see you in the next one.